Hello and welcome to Tales of Ajidrame online TV. Here is another episode of the special interview. Well, tonight in our studio we have our second guest, and very important in the sports industry in this country, the president of Real de Banjul Football Club, household name in Gambian sports, Willy Abraham. Welcome to the show, Willy.
Thank you very much, Haji.
Congratulations. Thank you so very much.
Beautiful place.
Yes. You've been with Real de Banjul for some time early in your life as a young man. Well, before you took the role as president of Real de Banjul Football Club. Could you tell us what was the attraction to the team? Could it be for the mere love of football, or were there any other personal reasons?
Thank you, Haji. I started following Real de Banjul since I was a little kid. I can say at the age of 5 years, 6 years old. My present coach, by Malewada, and my uncle, in those days, used to hold my hand and take me to games in Bubacarr Stadium. And that's how I started following the club. And then, unfortunately, I had to attend St. Augustine's High School for my high schooling. And there, we were forced to support young Africans. Otherwise, we had to go to Real de Banjul High School. And Real de Banjul High School never existed. So we had to support young Africans. And fortunately, again for me, by Malewada, who used to hold my hand with my uncle and take me to games, was my commerce teacher, also in high school. And at the same time, he used to play for young Africans. And we had to follow young Africans, but at the same time, I used to follow Real de Banjul secretly at Bubacarr Stadium. When I finished schooling, that's when I started involving myself with the club, with the help of Bambo Fati, Uncle Emonjai, Uncle Philot. We had the old people of Real de Banjul that really encouraged me, and I started work at 1985 in Banjul with my uncle. So I used to help also the club with shoes and balls and here and there, just little help, not major. And to be honest, I've always been a Real de Banjul fan. Some people say, oh, you were young Africans. I said, okay, I was young Africans because of the school. But I've always been a Real de Banjul supporter. I've died for Real de Banjul. I fought for Real de Banjul when I was very, very young in Bubacarr Stadium. So that's how I started helping until one day I was invited by the committee to be the treasurer of the club. And then things did not go well. It was tough for all of us. Things were going down, and I became more matured as a business person. I was still young. I was in my late 20s. So I had a thought and said, this club must move to another level, because I used to also watch a lot of football games, and I saw players moving to Europe, players moving to other parts of Africa, which really encouraged me a lot to look at it more as a business entity, not only following football for fun. And that's how it all started.
What was the atmosphere like at Real de Banjul when you eventually took over the mantle of leadership of the club in 1991? Because I read somewhere that this was a trying period for your club, in that you had some of your instrumental players moving on in life, as well as joining rival clubs. As the president then, I'm thinking it must have seemed a daunting task to try to revive the teams back to the former glory, I suppose.
Yes, Haji. I mean, when we came to the club, it was a very tough period for the club. This I will tell you. It was very challenging even for us as newcomers in the club. I can remember when we came in, we had people like Bambo Fati in the team. We had Bubacarr. We must say big thank you to these people. We had Uncle Gassa. We had Uncle Emonjai. These were people that were all alive in those days. Uncle Jara, who was the president when we were very young, starting to follow the club at the training grounds and stuff like that. It was a very, very tough period for the team, taking into consideration that Real de Banjul could not train as a club. Real de Banjul was training in two camps. One team was training at Latrikunda Danso, the school, and the other one was training in Banjul because they could not have fares, they didn't have transportation to come as a group to train and play in the league. So we came, we tried very hard to change it. So we had other people that we brought into the club. Myself, there was Pasamba, Bakari Jame, Bubacarr was there also with us. He was working by then at Gambia Airways. We had people like Ibundur, we had people like Dix, Lamin Toure, GB Ba, IB. There was a lot of people that were coming to the team to assist in getting the team to train together. So we started training together. Eventually we moved to the second field at the stadium, where we had a long lease with the stadium to use the field and train there. And that's how we all came together as one. But a lot of people decided to run away also because it was very expensive running the team, because we needed fares for the players. We needed at least some allowances for the coaches. We needed allowances for, or bonuses for the players. We needed boots, jerseys. So it was quite expensive to maintain the team. Then we had issues. I think there was an elections, Football Federation, Football Association by then, elections that was going to take place, and it brought a division between us as a group, trying to revive the club. And then most of us left, including myself, and we left, I think there was Pasamba with, I cannot remember who else was there, holding onto the throne. And myself, I used to give money under the table, just to make sure that the team is, although I was angry and stayed away, but I still was helping under the table to make sure that we had fares. We had some of the other things together with maybe, I don't know, one or two people, I forgot. And then the team was not doing good, the team was going down. And I remember, I think we had one game left to go to second division. If we lose it, we go to second division. And we were brought back to the team, and they put me as president of the club, because I had decided that if I don't have a grip in the team, I will also just hold my hands and just do whatever I was doing. Because I was looking at it as a business team, that we need to put money and invest in the team. So when I came back as president, the first person that I decided to go and see was the late Alhaji Obi Konate, who was my father also. Because Alhaji Obi Konate used to work for my dad in Gambia Fisheries. It was a Japanese company behind the market doing fisheries. So the old man used to work for my dad, and I was like his son back in the days when I was living in Boxbar. He was also living in Kampama, and I used to be in his house every day. He was my father. That's why I'm very close with the whole family. You know, although we have Walidan Real, which is fantastic, but you know, I always pray for him. He was a good man. And when I went to see him, I went to his office, I remember, in Banjul, and I said to him, Dad, I've been appointed as the president of the team, but we have an issue. We only have one more game to go, and if we lose this game, we're going to go to second division. And he said to me, we'll pray for you, and we hope that you don't lose this game so that you can maintain yourself in first division, because Real de Banjul is a big club in Gambia, and we cannot afford to see you going down. And we had a game at the Serekunda East against Bubacarr United, and we started the game and Bubacarr United scored 1-0. I remember Motsau was the referee of that game. So we were 1-0 down. I was standing at the back, hiding, because for me, I've never experienced being part of a club that will go to second division, knowing that I was just newly brought into office. So then, there we were. We scored 1-1, which was still not enough to keep us in fourth division. I remember in the last minutes, a player called Idrissa Jara, they call him Ronaldo, scored the winning goal. And we won 2-1, and that's how we maintained ourselves in the first division. Then, the next year, we came fourth in the league. We went to FA Cup final with Walidan. Unfortunately, we lost. Alaji Silla was the coach of the team. And we lost to Walidan, and that's how everything started. And here we are.
Under your stewardship of Real de Banjul, especially in the early 90s and 2000s, we saw perhaps the highest number of signings of Gambian players to foreign clubs. You agreeably changed the dynamics of Gambian football in that aspect, one can say. Would you concur with that analysis?
Yes, I mean, Haji, when we came as an executive in the club, the first thing we wanted to achieve is the club being able to sustain itself. Because back in the days, it was a tough challenge for everybody in the club. Getting money, putting like, in those days, $250 a week, that cannot take a club, Haji.
Yeah.
We came to the club. Walidan, when we took over, Walidan was the first team to get Jato out of Gambia. Then our eyes started opening up. We started traveling. We started contacting people that we know abroad as a club. And then I think it was the first time, or before we even took a player out, there was an opportunity for Mohamed Adams, Dini boy, to go to Malaysia in those days. But, I mean, it didn't work out. I think it was lack of knowledge from our side on how to do transfers and get ticketing and get visas. Haji, it's not easy. So it didn't work. And I think the first batch of players that we really considered taking out were Ibu Silla. We took him to Belgium. He went to a 4th division team. We took him first he went to Holland, to FC20, because I was working, representing a club, a company in Gambia that I used to import a lot of foodstuff from in Holland. And the owner of the company, after we had a chat, said to me, I mean, I have good connections with FC20 in Holland. So I said, oh, that's good, because we have a brilliant player in Gambia by the name of Ibu Silla, that we would want to bring him to Holland and give him a chance to do well and open our doors for marketing of players. And that's how we sent Ibu Silla to Holland. And he went, he was too young and could not make it there. We brought him back. We took him again to Denmark, to a club called Vidor. Vidor is a big and very old club in Denmark. And he went there also, and he didn't do well, and he came back. And I remember his mom telling me, oh, you don't want my son to play in Europe, you want to spoil his career, so and so, why don't you help him to go to the US?
Expectations were high.
I said to him, Ibu Silla is not somebody that can go to US and hustle. The boy is gifted, he has the best talents in this country. Let's be patient. And that's how we took him to Belgium. We signed him with a club called Harald Becker. It's a 4th division club in Belgium. And from there he went straight to Bruges in Belgium. So he was our first player that we took out. And then we took out Idrissa Sonko to Anderlecht. Then we took out Pandembo, the goalkeeper, to Djurgården in Denmark. We also took out Musa Baya, another goalkeeper, because both of them played the same time. Both of them played at the national team, and we took out both of them together. And I think we are the only club that takes out goalkeepers in this country. Because as we will talk,
Recently, there was
we have taken out one of our players to Estonia. He's already signed there.
Which include the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, we will talk about that.
Yes, yeah.
So that's when we started really focusing on getting our players out. Then, I mean, with our connections abroad, we started knocking doors at different clubs around the world, trying to bring them down. That's how it all started. And by then, we had brilliant players that could even go to Europe. But if you consider their ages, they would not be, the clubs will not have interest. Like if you look at Ibu Dibua, he was a top player in the country. He played around the same time with Ibu Sila and them. If you look at Sol Jai, for example, he was a brilliant player. We have the likes of Lamin Sila, Dini Boy, Dud Salah, we had Tijan Fai. Those players, if they were playing now, would all be playing professionally. But we came late to the club and it was not easy for us to even start taking out our first player.
Well, Real de Banjul, under your stewardship again, seems to be leading the race in so far as standardization and also commercialization of football in the Gambia is concerned. You now boast of your own football house in Bakau, which not only hosts your football executive or official, but also capable of hosting a visiting club as well. And you have also built a standard football pitch in Basore, Combo East, which is also hosting GFF4's second division as well, female league competition. Thanks to your business acumen rather. How much is the level of this investment in the game reflecting on your club's strength, both on and off the pitch?
Thank you very much, Haji. I mean, again, as I mentioned earlier, we saw this as a business. And luckily for me, my first vice president is an accountant with a lot of financial background, Wahis Wasamba. Bakari Jame, he also has a very good background in finance. He also has a background in marketing. He's been with the federation now for a while, in and out of the federation. During the normalization, he was there. He was with Gambia for Gold. He's with the federation now. He's a seasoned, also businessman, I would say. We saw the club, without having these facilities, us not achieving what we want in football. I remember all my interviews in the past. We want to be contenders in Africa. We want to be like big clubs in Africa that have their own facilities, that have their own headquarters, that have their own transportation, that have their own private plane, for example. Maybe one day it's possible. You understand? We have to think big, actually. We have to. So we decided that with the help and little monies that we get from our player transfers, which FIFA have confirmed. I was shocked when I saw the report from FIFA saying that Real de Banjul is number 12 in the whole of Africa in terms of taking out players from a country. And we are number 1 in Gambia. They are saying in the past 10 years, we have taken out 30 players. I would say that is FIFA's counting. But we have taken out more than 30 players. But still we have been ranked as number 1, which is no problem.
In Gambia.
You understand? We're enjoying it. So with the help of these monies coming from these players, we decided to start investing on the headquarters, which we finished in no time because we had the money and we could do it, and we did it. Then we decided that training facilities are a big problem in the country. We used to train at the stadium. That pitch is really not in a good standard for us to continue training there. So we moved to the Gold Project, where we were renting for about 3 years, but then suddenly the pitch went into different hands, and they decided that now it's been open to everybody, which is fair, that everybody should have access to use it upon paying. So then we saw it as a challenge for us to be there. So we also decided to acquire land to be able to get our own training facility. And Haji, it was a big challenge for us. Buying land in Gambia, we bought land in Kitty, we started the development, we spent a lot of money to buy it. Then some people came claiming that the land belongs to them. So up to now, we cannot recover the money. Then we bought another land in Sanyang, and we were very happy about the piece of land. We started grading the land, started developing the land. Again, some people came and said that the land belongs to them. So we decided that, you know what, let's move out of this area. Let's move away, because all these lands now, there's a lot of problems. We've burnt our fingers twice. So that's when we moved to Basori. And the first thing we did was we went to the Alcalo to present our project to him. Then we went to the Imam, the Grand Marabout of Basori, also to get his blessing, because we just needed the support of the community to show them that we are bringing this to them. And everybody in Basori just embraced this idea. And to be very honest, we've never had any problems since we started in Basori. And this pitch or this training facility that we have put in place has really encouraged us to have different categories. Because it's about time that we also have to start giving back to the communities, which we have been doing. About some few weeks ago, we gave out almost about 50 sets of jerseys around the neighborhood there, to academies, to some Nawetan teams there, to Nawetan teams in Jiboro, in Mandinaba, even, you know, we gave out a lot of stuff, because we got this stuff from some of our partners in Germany, and we decided to give it out so that the people of Basori also will see us as that we have been helping. Because to be very honest, we've never had any issues, and now we can boast of having an under 17 team. We have an under 15, and then we have an under 12. But the under 12, it's a team that is strictly based in Basori. The players are only coming from Basori.
That's another
because we've done it for the kids. We've bought for them jerseys and balls. We are educating the coaches that will teach these kids. I remember when we were building the center, I used to come there and find the kids playing on the football field that had no grass, had no turf, had nothing. It was only the gravel.
That was just at the starting period.
Just at the starting. I have all the videos and everything that you can see the kids, how they love football in Basori. And in the under 17 and the under 15, we also have players
that are coming from Basori as well.
That are coming from Basori. We also have coaches, like the under 15 team is being coached by coaches that are living in Basori. We are also enhancing their license. We register them in all the coaching courses that take place or that are organized by the Federation and CAF. We get them trained and we help them, develop them, because it's for our benefit also. We get players playing. We have a player that is training in the first team also.
From Basori.
He's from Jiboro.
That's not in
yeah, it was 2 minutes from the training facility.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that maybe in the second round, we will see him. So
that's another development as far as Basori is concerned. That's a very popular place as well.
Very popular.
People travel there to go and watch
very
matches.
Popular. Yes.
And Real de Banjul has continued to fulfill the dreams of young footballers in this country for not only building up their careers, but also availing them the opportunity to play abroad. And there is no need saying that what that could mean in terms of earnings. And quite recently, Real de Banjul made some sales of number of players. Who are they, and what does it take a president in terms of building the right connection with foreign clubs to be able to pull such a deal through?
I mean, I think a few months ago, we all saw that we signed a partnership with a club in Estonia called Paide. Paide is a club that, with the help of Modu Stick, your brother Modu Biai.
Oh, Modu Lamin Biai,
yes. With his help, and he did the connection, because he was the one who took few players, Alassana Jata and Mohamed Sane.
Yes.
They were the first two players that we took there, and both of them went straight on a contract. They didn't even go for trials. They did very well. And then we sent a third player there who did not do well, and he came back. Then eventually, with our link with the club, we decided that we wanted to have a partnership with them because Estonia is a country that is Schengen. It's 1 foot into Europe, which is very good for us because looking at our players, they always need at least 1 year or 2 years to develop and climatize and be able to adapt in Europe and all of that. So we, both clubs, signed a partnership that every year, 2 or 3 times in the year, the club would come down with their technical director and coaches to work on the ground here for 10 days, select players and sign them. So these people were here in November for 10 days. They really came out with a list of about 15 players that they are very much interested in taking. And the priority for them was these 3. Ibrahim Ajaju is a veteran goalkeeper of the club. He's been with us since the days of Toldo. He was Toldo's assistant. And he was there, I think, also with Aladi Nyabali.
He rose through the ranks.
Yes. So Ibrahim has done well. We sent him 2 times to Troyes in France to do trials. Trials was good, but we didn't agree with the club on the other terms. And Ibrahim has signed in Estonia for Paide with Ibrahim Singate. Ibrahim Singate also is somebody we found at a very young age. Also Bubacarr Tambedu, the son of an ex-player of Walidan Mohamed Tambedu, who works now at Mask Line. And is somebody that is always following his son. He's at
I used
games.
to see him watching Real de Banjul matches.
He's at all the games. Yes. And this is what we expect from parents. We expect parents to be following their children and make sure that they are on the right track. Exactly. To help them at home also. They can have a chat with the kids and encourage them. You are doing this wrongly. You are doing this rightly. It's good for you to have that link with your son.
Congratulations for that.
Yes. So eventually, I mean, we signed the partnership, and these 3 players went, and we are hoping to see them here again very soon, and have more players go there.
Wow. To the final touches with that. Well, the Scorpions is currently participating in the Africa Cup of Nations 2021 for the first time ever, and frankly, they stand a chance of qualifying to the round of 16. There are 10 members of this historic team who are either current or former players of your club, Real de Banjul. I am quite sure you feel a lot of pride in this team. However, news reaching Banjul concerning one of your very own Bubacarr Steve, better known to many fans as Steve, who now plays his trade in the UAE, is causing quite a stir in the country following his announcement that he was calling it quit as a result of injury. Knowing him more than the rest of us, do you sense any rift, perhaps between him and the coach, given that he is not featured in any of the Scorpions matches so far?
Haji, yes, I am more than happy and proud when I saw the information that the coach has selected 10 players from a group of our ex-players, I would call it, because they all play abroad. Most of them are playing in Europe, in the Middle East, and I think we have Toldo playing in South Africa. This is not a surprise to me because whenever we sell a player, the coach always tells me, "Oh, you're giving me more problems." I said, "But these are good problems, not bad problems. Good problems.
You're bringing back something."
Exactly. We are bringing more good players for you, so it gives you a bigger pool to choose from. And this is not the first time this is happening. I remember when I was very young, we had almost about 10 players also in the national team. I cannot remember whether the 10 players were starting 10 players in the national team. But I remember we also had 10 players when Uncle Mamset, Uncle Emonjai, Uncle, all these old guys were there with the team in the old days. Because Real used to be a strong team. Real has won a lot of trophies in the old days. You understand? So, I mean, I'm very touched about this. And we've received a lot of messages congratulating us about the achievement. And within the preparation also, we have seen that there is 3 more players going. Very soon also, maybe within the next couple of weeks, we are going to release.
Well, you are good for that.
We are going to release another good news also, because there is something being worked out also in the pipeline.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's good. It's very, very good. I'm really happy. I'm really happy as a president that, I mean, this thing has happened, and I am sure that it could have been more than 11, but we are happy for this.
Yes.
We are very happy. Talking about Steve, Steve calls me his godfather.
Yes.
If you watch his documentary, he calls me his godfather. Steve is a special boy to me.
Very close to you.
But that doesn't mean when it comes to saying the truth or disciplining, I will not discipline him. I was surprised when I saw the news at 5:30 in the morning on Monday. I saw the news on my phone. Somebody sent me a message that Steve is injured and he is leaving the camp. So I said, but why should he leave the camp? He cannot leave the camp. Being injured doesn't warrant you
to leave the camp.
To leave the camp.
Yes.
And I think the federation has issued a statement saying that the boy claims that he has an ankle.
Yes.
But the federation also has doctors on the ground. If I don't know whether they did an examination to see what happened with his ankle or not. But the news that I saw is the same way that everybody saw. But as somebody that I'm very close to Steve, I decided to pick up the phone and call him. And when I called him, I said, what's going on? I'm hearing all this stuff about you, that you're going home because you have an ankle. He said, yes, I have an ankle. I have been icing my foot. And my club has decided to recall me to go and do treatment. I said, but why do you want to go home? Why can't you do your treatment there? He said, that's the decision of the club. That was the end of my conversation. So, whatever is being said by the federation is exactly what the player himself told me as his godfather. And that's all I know about it.
You've been in football for many, many years now. You've managed many footballers who have passed through Real de Banjul, just like we mentioned earlier. Is this normal?
I mean, I don't know what happened, Haji. I'll be very honest with you. I mean, Tom, the head coach, is the one who can talk about this. Tom, we have a very good relationship with. He has a good relationship with me. We call all the time because
his interview surprised many, saying that the players have decided with the club, so now they are going to accept that and allow him to go.
Exactly. You cannot force him to stay. I would have loved him to stay. I would have loved to see him play. Steve is one of the darlings of the country.
He has put a lot of performance, a very fine performance in the qualifiers.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that Haji, he has to play. The coach is the boss. I cannot tell the coach, you have to play Steve. Even at Real de Banjul, we will not do that. This is the highest level of football in Africa. We have to respect the coach. The coach has a big number of players and his formula is working. Correct or not?
Correct, because that is what we need.
Is the formula working or not?
It's working, he has a chance
People are saying he's playing boring football. To hell with boring football. We are qualifying, for God's sake, for the first time.
And others are even questioning maybe Steve didn't play, he expected to play because the fans have believed that he should be in the second
team. That's the fans. The coach has been given a job.
And presently he's delivering.
He's delivering. Yes. Nobody can dictate it. If you go and tell him, you have to play Steve, he tells you for what? Yes. I'm getting results.
Exactly.
With the group of players. We saw in the second game, he changed his players. A bit.
A bit, yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
He brought in new legs on the left defense,
Yes.
and brought somebody new at the right.
And in fact, the captain was benched for that game.
Exactly.
The team captain, Pamodo Giant.
Exactly. So I think, I don't know what happened, but
What are our chances with the crop of players that we have in this team going further to in the competition? What are our chances?
Haji, not about chances. We've all been waiting for this. So we're going to go forward. The players are hungry. Look at them the way they play. We played against bigger clubs in Africa today. Mali. Mali is a top club in Africa.
Oh yeah.
Correct or not?
Correct.
Mauritania. They are in a higher ranking than us.
Yeah.
If you go to Mauritania today, you look at the infrastructure. You look at how their league is structured. Look at how many clubs are participating in Africa.
Has turned to be a superpower in African football now.
We beat them.
Yes.
Correct or not?
Correct.
So now, let's finish Tunisia and go to the next stage. This is good for our football. Now, a lot of people are opening their eyes. Today, we are getting people coming from Czech Republic, Sparta Prague.
Yeah.
We have the MLS arriving tomorrow.
Wow. So that they are coming under the
Yes.
invitation of Real de Banjul.
Exactly.
So what will mission be? Are you already, in finalizing deal?
No, there's nothing finalized. I'm just saying that the whole world are beaming their eyes on Gambia.
So this is a good,
The players playing in Italy have also opened the European market for us.
Okay.
The likes of Musa Barrow.
And this Ibrahim, the chap, the other colleague,
Ibrahim Adamo. Exactly.
They're doing very well in this.
Very well.
Very well.
Super well. They're putting the Gambian name on the map in football.
We are just closing to the end of this interview, but let's talk about club football. What is Real de Banjul's mission, say for the next 5 years in terms of international competitions? And I'm thinking of the CAF competition, the Champions League, and perhaps the Confederation Cup on a higher notch. Or is your club content with just building talent and selling to the highest bidder as when the opportunity arises?
Hadi, at the moment, we only get monies from the sale of players.
Mm-hmm.
We get a small amount of money from our partner company, NetPage, who is the sponsor on our jersey.
Yes, NetPage.
And we get small money from them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to thank them also.
Real de Banjul always say small money. That is not small money, that is big money. NetPage will not give you small money.
No. To be very honest, Haji, I've been getting a lot of pressure from the fans that we must win the league. We have not won the league for a while, it's true. But if we decided to win the league, we would not achieve our headquarters.
Yeah.
We would not achieve the training facilities. We would not achieve the number of vehicles the club has bought today. I mean, we have, I think, we have 4 buses for the team, because the youths that we are building now have also their own vehicle, because they need to be transported.
Yeah.
The under 15 is playing a tournament in Banjul, and they are also playing a tournament in Lamin. There's a tournament organized in Lamin,
Yes.
and there's a tournament organized in Banjul.
That is the one organized by Kabla.
Yes,
Kabla
Cameroon.
under 15. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a good tournament. People are excited about it. So, so we had to provide transportation for them. Mm-hmm. We want to win the league. We want to be in Africa. We want to go far in Africa, into the group stages. Now, we have the fields in Basuri. Mm-hmm. We are lacking accommodation. We are lacking a school.
Yes.
And this, at the moment, is a priority for us. We are challenged with going up and down every day in Basuri. It's not easy, actually. The kids deserve to have proper accommodation. The kids deserve to have schooling. Because in our project document, it clearly states that the players must be given education. That's the training facility. Live your dreams. If the players don't make it in football, they should be able to leave the facility with some kind of a knowledge or a skill. For example, we want to teach metalwork, woodwork, agriculture, some other things like maybe languages, computing. basic things.
So you want to bring it a proper football academy.
That's what we want to do. The kids deserve to get some kind of education, which is very key for Real de Banjul and our partner, Live Your Dreams.
Yeah.
At least everybody would see that we are giving something back to the kids. Not only you are a talent, we put you in Real de Banjul. You are not a talent, you have to go home. Then we have been very selfish, and we cannot do that.
And most of your former players are occupying very top positions just because of their academic background.
Exactly.
Yes.
We have a lot of former players. We have Soljan who works for Africell, he has a good post there.
Yeah.
We have Pa Usman Jai who was the deputy MD at Force International Bank. Exactly. Batamelu, for example, the Honorable Minister of Justice.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention his name.
Yes.
You know, he played for the club before he left. You know, and he was one of the players that never got any money from football. But the father was very strict, put him in school. At the same time, he was playing football. And today I can boast of him.
Yeah.
You know,
A product of Real de Banjul.
exactly.
Yeah.
A product of Real de Banjul. And there are many, many more here in the country that are working in different walks of life that have gone through the club. But unfortunately, they were not educated by us. Although, I would say that we have kids that we pay their school fees.
Yes.
You understand? Privately, quietly. But we want to have our own school in Basel.
That is amazing.
Yes, we
That is
want
amazing.
to have that.
We wish you all the best. Now, finally, let's
Yes.
talk women football. Many believe you concentrated much on male football than women football. And some of the women folks are even complaining that not much attention is given to them because their games are thrown away or scheduled at zones that people don't go and watch. And they believe with the intervention of Real de Banjul having a female team can boost the morale of ordinary Gambian fans to put a woman football into their consideration. Is that any near your plans going into the next 2 years?
Yes, Haji. Yes. We have to be fair with both genders. We cannot just be concentrating on male. Currently, there is a female team that we are helping underneath.
Okay.
Do you understand? And it's a team that is been run by some few female coaches, and they're doing very, very well.
Okay.
So we are helping them underneath, and we are really considering, coming in with them to take over the club. With them, together, enhance their certificates, make them better coaches, and then we can maybe administer the team and bring it into the league. But football is expensive, Haji.
Yes.
You have to understand that football is expensive. All these different categories that we are trying to maintain, it's very expensive. And that's where the accommodation should come into place. Because once we have the accommodation, we have the fields already, we have one synthetic pitch and one grass pitch. The female league is actually being played now in Basel.
In Basel, yeah.
Yes.
That's where
they're playing there all their games at Basel. And it would have been nice for us to be definitely participate in this league, knowing that we have a big fan base already in Basel.
The two leagues
But
can be going concurrently.
it's something that I can assure you that within the next 2 years, 3 years, we will be there.
I think the fans have already got the answers they want to do. Well,
Yes.
that was Willy Abraham. This is not going to be the last encounter with Tales of Ajidrame. We have many discussions ahead to talk about disability. He has been a champion of disability as well. That has its own day for a discussion. It has been Tales of Ajidrame exclusive interview with Real de Banjul's president, Willy Abraham. Well, I guess the fans will now understand exactly about Bubacarr Strawally, because many Gambians know that when you talk about Bubacarr Strawally, you have touched Willy's son. So you have given his quiet opinion about this issue going, wishing the boys in Cameroon to proceed going into the next round of the competition. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Haji, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.